and welcome to Slay in the Kitchen with Stephers. This is where we slay in the kitchen. We are making lemon raspberry cake because we have many June birthdays, so we're celebrating that. My birthday's in August, so essentially I'm making a cake live on the internet that no one is actually going to be able to eat except me, which is okay. I am okay with this. So we have lemon raspberry, and then if we have enough time, we are gonna make, I saw this, I'm trying to eat cleaner, healthier. Obviously this cake is the treat, not standard. But I bought dates from Costco, and there's this peanut butter chocolate date kind of dessert to kind of help your sweet tooth that if we have time I will also be making. Part of this cake is there is a raspberry jam filling, so we will be making the jam live on stream. So we're going to preheat the oven. That is step number 1. Spray 3 8-inch cake pans, which we do not have, with baking nonstick spray. Okay, then I'll do 2 of these. Not sponsored, with a cotton candy Alani. Is this live? Alright, so I'm going to cut this circle out, as you can see. Okay, so fun fact, what I do to keep the parchment paper, typically if it's on a baking sheet, I will crumple it up and flatten it out, that way it doesn't stick up. But for cakes, I like to spray the bottom, put the parchment paper, and it'll stick that way. And then sometimes I like to spray the parchment paper on top, because you can never be too sure about it sticking. So we have our first cake pan done. We're gonna do this, and then I have cupcake liners, so we'll do that right before we're about to tray it all up. Our trays are caking. They're simmering. What do we need to do next? We are now going to sift the flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Baking soda, baking powder, and salt. I had almost everything out here. I just have been breathing. So I'm just gonna grab all the things you need and a bowl. We have our bowl, and we have our sifter all ready to go. So we're gonna do 3 3/4 cups of flour. I need a 1/4 cup. Now we have to sift the flour, which in theory I can go like this. I think you can see me sift. Sort of, kind of, maybe, yeah. I think so. The problem with sifting is I don't want to sift it out of the bowl, because I've sifted at an angle before and it gets to be a complete mess. There we go. That's what we want. And we do a little shake it like a salt, shake it like a salt, shake it. And I dump the little dukers. And then we need, how much? 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Do I have a teaspoon? I have a tablespoon. Do I need a tablespoon for anything? No, I need a teaspoon. One teaspoon of baking powder. Let me not do. Fun fact, don't try to do backwards things. Every baker has mistaken powder for soda at least once, and let me tell you, the quantities are very different. 1/2 teaspoon of soda, 1 teaspoon of salt. Drop everything now. Okay, in a large bowl using a mixer, beat the butter, oil, and sugar on high speed. Butter, sugar. Now we are getting back to the mixer. We're going to do 3/4 cups of butter. So, fun fact, 1 stick of butter is a 1/2 cup. So, we need 4 tablespoons for a 1/4 cup. We are starting the wet ingredients. We're going to beat the butter, oil, and sugar together. Here in a moment. Quarter cup of oil. Canola or vegetable? Do we want canola or vegetable? What do we think? Also, I am not a person that will dirty more dishes. I'm just gonna reuse the one I just used for the flour because respectfully, if I don't need to do more dishes, I'm not going to. Okay. Oh my gosh. No one saw that. But a big honker of sugar just came out of this. I did say white sugar, right? Do I need brown sugar for this? Oh, I don't. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, we are going to let that sit in there and we're going to zest the lemons because it's going to take me a minute. So, we have 2, 4, 6. I mean, I don't know if these are considered small or medium. These might be considered medium, but I like lemons, so I don't know. They're also kind of ugly. I actually don't know if this is a big enough situation to zest, but we're gonna just zest it this way because I don't know any other way to do it. I have to be honest. I'm also not sure of the technique with zesting, but I'm just doing it. We'll link the Discord so that anyone who watches can get the recipe. And of course, I'm an amateur baker. I make no claim that anything I'm doing is correct, but it'll be delicious. That I can guarantee. Also, zesting takes so long. Why can't they just have like an automated machine that just zests citrus for you? Like that would be so great. Which, to be honest, maybe they do, and I'm just not privy to it because, well, I'm just a little home baker. Alright, we are going to go ahead and start the mixer to beat that butter. No one saw that. No one saw all of that sugar just go yeet outside of the mixer. I mean, we did, but like we're gonna ignore it because the butter isn't soft enough yet. So we have our lemon zest. We're gonna add it in. We're gonna use our spatula. Get every last bit. I feel like the last time I made this, I added lemon extract, but I have a shit ton of lemons, so we're just gonna use the juice. I don't know how much juice I'm supposed to add though, because I didn't look yet. All right, that'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Let's see how much. A quarter cup of lemon juice and 4 large eggs. Alright. Okay. Quarter cup of lemon juice and 4 large eggs. Also, I was gonna say, typically I have more trouble with brown eggs than white eggs for cracking, but lately the white eggs I've been getting are kind of hard to crack in a equal way. Like it cracks on the side and then the top is what loosens. And I'm like, okay, well that's not helpful. Beep. Quarter cup of lemon juice, quarter cup of sour cream. I don't have buttermilk, so we're gonna just do cream instead. We're just gonna do heavy cream instead, and that's okay. It's called substitution. This is one of the things where I find baking can be a little forgiving, but not much. Cream is thicker than buttermilk in my opinion. I really don't feel like a quarter cup of lemon juice is gonna be enough in this cake. Do I follow the recipe or do I just YOLO and add more lemon juice? I feel like lemon juice versus zest. Too much liquid will make it not as good. So maybe I just follow the recipe? Probably. Yeah, well. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. We follow the rules here. Oh shit. I'm squirting juice everywhere. Got it. Alright, I caught the seeds. Okay. So fun fact, a quarter cup of lemon juice is about 2 lemons. Alright, so now we're slopping all that together. See how it's getting thicker? It's looking more like a dough than a cake, but what do I know? I think it like stays this like thick batter consistency and it doesn't firm up like a dough. Okay, that's done. I think what we'll do, I think this is what we're gonna do. We are going to make a channel for cooking stream suggestions. And then I'm going to put all the suggestions in an RNG wheel, and then the week of a cooking stream, I will RNG it so I can make sure I can get all the ingredients, and then we'll just go through a list that way. Now, are we anti-trying the batter, or are we pro-trying the batter? This is the question. There's no wrong answer, technically. Let's do the big one first. This is where my lift at the gym comes in. Oh my gosh, this batter is so thick. This batter is so insanely thick. What the flip? Yeah. I was also going to try to be optimistic and do some cupcakes, but I don't know if we'll need to. Like, the cake batter is thick, but I think that it's enough to fill both of these. I have no idea how people do, or how they do 3 8 rounds. But, I don't know. Miracles happen, I guess. Alright, let's start with this. No cupcakes, it looks like, based off of how much is left. Also, this might be a thinner cake? Maybe? Maybe it puffs up enough? I'm not sure. I have made this once, but I don't really remember how it came out. Like, it came out good, but in terms of height, I am not sure. And then we just lick the bowl clean. Like that. It looks like mashed taters. It really does. And then we get it spread out here. Oh, can we spread? Spread. All right, we've spread it, and I think we're good here. I don't know. We're gonna hope it spreads in the oven, and that's what our hope is going to be, because there are little bitty holes, but that's okay. Cupcakes. All right, we're gonna stick these in. These beautiful. Okay. In the oven for 22 minutes to start, and then we'll poke a hole and see where we're at with that. That is done. Now we're going to move on to the raspberry jam filling. So we're using this full pack of raspberries for this cake. Love that. We are going to rinse them really quick. Rinse them off. So we have our raspberries. We're gonna loop them all in. Put them on there. And then we need sugar, 1 cup. I need to get the refill of sugar, dude, because there's no way we're gonna get a hold of this. And we need 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Are you kidding? That's it? 1 teaspoon? Respectfully, we're just gonna put a whole half of the lemon juice in there. Throw this away. I do think I want to make the dates. I think it's just pitted dates stuffed with peanut butter and dipped in chocolate. You make them, how do I show this? You like squidge them onto, this is a second way of making it. You squidge them onto like parchment paper on a sheet tray, and then you like do creamy peanut butter on top, and then you melt chocolate and put that on top. We're making a date thing. But this girl, she essentially pits them, and then she squidges them. Essentially, she makes like a sheet brick tray, and she covers them with peanut butter. It's super easy. So I was like, oh, I'm doing a baking stream. Let me just do this. I do like, I think I like dates anyway. We'll find this out the hard way, I suppose. But I do enjoy like prune textures and figs and stuff, so I assume I would like dates just as much. And they're quote unquote good for you. So I have creamy peanut butter, and then I'll just have to melt some dark chocolate. I don't know what percent my chocolate is, which is the only thing. I think it's 60%, but it might not be. First one done. The jam is about done. There's about 1 minute left. It's not as thick as I want it to be though. So I don't know if when it cools it thickens more. But we'll find out. The chocolate is melting for my date snack. Heat to a simmer until thickened about 20 minutes. It will equal to 1/4 cups of jam, cool jam before using. Okay. So I have our chocolate melted right here. So now we are going to go back over here and pivot. You are far from new. That's what I'm saying. Man, you're all tatted up. I have 6 tattoos. I also have one behind my neck. It is the Aquarius waves in honor of my dad. And then I have a matching tattoo with Bestie Michael. And I'm actually in the process of booking more tattoos. But don't tell anyone. So we're gonna point down for the chocolatefying. Look at that aesthetic chocolate. Yeah. I'm gonna spread it once I'm done pouring it all. Also, this was 1 full bar of 60% dark chocolate, which I probably didn't need the whole bar, but that's fine. I'm not mad about it. Okay, there's that. And then we spread. Oh shit. I just stabbed the date. The poor date didn't even see it coming. Okay. Look how shiny! I love it. Okay. We're done with this, so now it needs to just go in the fridge, I believe, for forever. We have our first, I've done 2 cakes, well, it's the same cake, but 2 pans. So here is our first one. You just ignore the center where I've stabbed it. We have a homemade raspberry jam that's cooling right here. And then the second one is currently in the oven, finishing off because it was not done yet. Okay, and also we made a date sweet treat because we're trying to be healthier. Final cake is done. And here it is, and it's all in its glory. Oh, which way? Right here, yeah. So now these are going to cool in their respective pans for, how long does it want me to cool them? Let it sit in hot pans for 10 minutes before transferring into a cooling rack. Okay. Also, if y'all have any friends that you think would like the channel, please feel free to share. And I mean, I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm trying to grow the community here, the community in Discord, just so we can all hang out. We're gonna cornstarch to the gym to thicken it up. Okay, if it's not thick in the next 3 minutes, I don't know why I'm so against adding cornstarch slurry to things, but cold water. It says 1 tablespoon equals 2 tablespoons of flour. To thicken hot liquids, first mix cornstarch with a little, you know what, they don't even give you like a measurement. Will send, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just gonna do 1 tablespoon, I guess. It's not really helpful. It doesn't really tell much. It says a little, so I don't know what a little means. It'll thicken immediately. We're just gonna do that then. Mixy. Look at my little cornstarch slurry we got going. Alright, swish, swish, swish. Oh, that really does work instantly. That's crazy, actually. Alright, we're removing it from the heat now. And now you can simmer in your cornstarchy. Whoa! I just splooshed it everywhere. Alright, now we're gonna flip over these cakes onto a cooling rack. Add so much that it becomes a cake in and of itself. It should. It really, like, that would be fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to. Alright, so here's the smaller round. Just gonna flip that out, and the paper stayed in. So that worked. I am going to flip it back over. It's a bit flat, but I guess I didn't fill it that much because it was thick. Drying, cooling, not really a difference. I don't really know what this was. This wasn't like coined as a cooling rack. Here's the second one. Oh, it's hot still. Don't be like me and not use. Oh, a minute. Sorry, the bottom is still very hot. It's hot. That one's a lot browner, but it is better. Oh god, it's done more. Also, this one's a lot lighter, but this one was thinner and not as much cake, but this is done. So now we let these cool. And I need to jar my jam. I'm gonna jar my jam maybe, or put it in a bowl. I'll put it in a bowl. We'll put it in a bowl so we can cool the jam. But yeah, so this is lemon ras, and then we made a homemade raspberry jam to go in between. So once these cool completely, I will slice the tops off, fill it, put raspberry cream cheese frosting all around and in it. But it needs to cool, unfortunately, fortunately.